It's Monday night, and this week, Downstairs Entertainment, in association with DaveyBoy Productions, presents the second episode of a very special case of Rex Rivetter, Private Eye. This season builds on the characters and plot lines from previous episodes, so if you haven't caught up, we recommend you go back and listen to the episodes you missed. We'll be here when you get back. Welcome back. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the thrilling second part of Jenny McIntosh, Girl Friday in The Homecoming.
My sister had gone on a couple of dates with this guy, Abe Breslow. Some kind of fancy accountant to the stars. At least that's what it said on the card he'd given to Antoinette. Things were going swell. Until she found a little black book in his coat pocket.
I think he's a spy for the commies. All the writing inside don't look like any language I ever seen.
I couldn't argue with her there.
Will you look at it? You're good at word puzzles and stuff. Will you at least look at it and tell me if he's into something bad?
I don't think that's a good idea. It's probably important. Abe will be looking for it.
Looking for it?
Sure. If whatever is in this book was important enough to write it in code, it's important enough for him to come looking for it, once he notices it's not where he left it.
What should I do?
Give it back.
I can't give it back. What if it's top secret details about something? What if, by giving it back, we help the Ruskies? Oh my God, I'm not a hurry.
Oh, for the love of Pete, don't get hysterical. I'll take a look at it. But in the meantime, you'd better lay low, just in case.
Oh, thank you. You're the best sister ever. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Well, for one thing, you'd get yourself into more trouble. I spent the next couple of hours trying to make out what was inside the book. It looked like it had been written over a period of time. There were different pens used, and periodically different writing styles. Some of the letters and numbers slanted left, and some right. Sometimes the ink was blue, but mostly black. All in all, it was pretty confusing. And Antoinette's notion of a spy ring was starting to look more feasible. The phone rang and it startled me. I was letting my imagination run wild. Rivetter Investigations.
Hello, Angel. I need a couple favors.
Sure thing, boss. Your wish is my command.
I need a tow and a lift, and an address.
3 favors, wow. Wait, a tow? Were you in an accident?
No, nothing like that. Just a little tire trouble. Send the tow man to Torrentino's. Give them my plates. The keys will be inside.
The tow man?
Also, I need a cab.
Sent to Torrentino's?
No, the Normandy Village. 8474 Sunset. I'm in number 25.
Got it. What was the 3rd favor?
Well, you'll probably have to get a hold of your sister for this one. I need Abe Breslow's address.
He hung up after that, so I called my sister at my place.
Hello?
It's me.
Oh, thank God. I keep hearing noises out in your hallway. I've been looking out your peephole, but I don't see nobody. I'm starting to get worried.
Oh, it's probably Mr. Ballesteros down the hall. He paces a lot. And he checks his mail about 10 times a day. Careful, though. Sometimes he forgets to put on pants.
To go to the mailbox?
Well, that doesn't matter to him. And I think it amuses Mrs. Ballesteros.
All right, what did you find out?
What?
About the book?
Oh, not much.
Is he a spy?
Mr. Ballesteros?
Stop kidding around!
I don't know, Antoinette. But that's not why I called. I need Abe's address.
What for?
Rex called and asked for it.
Again, I ask, what for?
I don't know. He probably needs to see him about the case he's working on.
What if he's in on it?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Antoinette. Don't be ridiculous. Could you just give me the address?
How am I supposed to know where Abe lives?
Because you've been there.
What are you saying?
Tony!
Fine. It's on Baroda Drive. Tell him to ask about the book.
What?
Tell your boss to ask Abe about the book.
You want me to tell Rex to ask Abe about a book you stole?
Yeah, Genevieve, I'm going into panic here.
I can tell.
I read the papers. I know what they do to people that aspire with communists.
Conspire.
Whatever. Why do you always have to correct me?
Why do you always have to be wrong?
I'm not always wrong, Jenny. I need peace of mind here.
There is no peace of mind here. This is Los Angeles.
Then maybe I should go back to New Jersey.
Maybe you should. I shouldn't have been so short with her, I know. But sometimes she gets into a spiral like this and there's no reasoning with her. I never talked to her again. I called Rex back and gave him the address. When we got off the phone, I was alone once more, with my thoughts and Abe's book. I just couldn't make any sense of it. It was all gobbledygook. I knew I would have to tell Rex about it, but since I didn't know Abe's number and I sure wasn't going to call Antoinette again to get it, I would have to wait until the boss came back to the office to let him know what had happened. While I waited, I just kept staring at the writing on the pages, flipping through it, hoping something would jump out at me. A few hours later, the phone rang. A final time.
Rivetter Investigations.
Hello, Angel.
Hiya, boss. How are things coming along with the missing girl?
Not so good. Where's your sister?
Antoinette. After her argument with your army friend, she decided to go home. Why?
It's just as well. Abe is dead.
Dead? Oh my gosh, how?
He was shot. Twice.
Shot? Well, that's why you had me call the cops.
That's right. But there's more.
Why was he shot, Rex?
Over a book. A little black book.
A book?
Look, I don't have time to explain right now. You say your sister went home? You should too. Get out of town for a while. Now.
But Rex, I have to tell you something.
Don't ask questions. Go. Now. You can phone me in a few days. I should have more information then.
Leave town? Rex, what's going on?
Some bad people want that book. And they're after me. They think I have it.
But Rex,
It's all right, Jenny. I'll work this out. But I can't be thinking about you when I go up against them. I need to know you're safe. Get out of town. You hear me? Get out of town.
Rex.
Just do as I say, Angel. Promise me.
Okay, Rex. But...
Goodbye, Angel. Take care of yourself.
And then he hung up. I didn't get to tell him I had the book. I know now that I should have said something, but I was just frozen. The news of Abe's death left me stunned, I guess. I threw the book in the trash and collected my things with the intention of rushing home to Antoinette and driving over to Rex's house. I locked the office door and started down the hall, but something kept nagging at me. I called the elevator and then rushed back to the office to get the book. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, but if it caused this much trouble, I didn't want anyone else to have it either. The drive home was a blur. I just remember entering my apartment and discovering Antoinette had already gone, which I was glad for. Because that's when they came. I'd left the front door half open, and I was standing in the hallway looking into my bedroom. Tony's clothes were missing, and so was her suitcase. She was probably already on a bus to New Jersey. The hinges squeaked, and I turned, expecting to see either Mr. Ballesteros, half naked, or my sister. Instead, there were 4 guys in suits, and they had guns. In just under 3 hours, I would be dead.
You just keep quiet and sit over there on the couch.
They all entered single file, like some kind of crazy centipede. The last one closed the door behind him. I'd never seen any of them before, but I'd seen their type. They looked like someone had put in a call to Central Casting asking for some mobsters. One guy stayed at the door using the peephole. 2 more searched my apartment, while the 4th, the guy giving directions, held a pistol on me and emptied out my purse. He found the book almost immediately.
Got it.
All of a sudden, I was looking down 3 gun barrels. The guy at the door held his post.
All right, boys. I think we got what we came for. You know what to do.
One of my chaperones stepped a little closer. I did not like what I saw in his eyes. If I was going to make it to sundown, I knew I had to do something. Do you know what that is?
What we came for.
But can you read it?
Huh?
He got a strange look on his face and opened up the book. Oh, there is a fine line between confusion and bewilderment, This guy crossed it back and forth like a drunk straddling the center of the road.
What's this?
It's a code.
A code?
Sure. The people writing in that book don't want just anybody knowing what's in it.
How do you know?
How do I know? How do I know? Because I can read it. Oh, nice one, Jenny. That's not going to come back and bite you on the rear. The talky one stares at me in disbelief for a while and then steps over to my phone and dials.
It's me. Let me talk to Tiny.
There was a pause in the conversation. I assume someone was getting tiny, whoever that was.
So what do we do with her? Yeah, she's got it, but it's in some kind of code. I can't make it out, but the dame says she can read it. I don't know. Well, since I can't tell what it says, she could say just about anything, and how am I to know? Thanks. Yes, she's seen all of us. Well, we thought we were just gonna plug her.
Well, that wasn't a good sign.
No, driver's license says her name is Jeannie? Jenna?
Genevieve.
Jeannie?
Genevieve. Oh, forget it. Here, let me talk to him.
What? She wants to talk to you. Well, I am. You got it. Now look, lady, I'm in charge here. Nobody talks unless I tell them to. Tell me what the book says.
No.
What?
You heard me.
I don't think you understand your situation, Jean.
Just Jenny.
I don't think you understand your situation, Jenny.
Huh. I thought that was going to go another way.
I'm in charge here, and you're going to tell me what the book says.
Or? What are you going to do? Plug me? Then you'll never know what the book says. Silence. The four apes look at each other, bewildered. Finally, one of the other mugs, the one at the door, speaks up.
She's got a point.
The head gorilla talks into the phone again.
Hey, boss, I'm not exactly sure what to do here. See, if we shoot her... Oh, you heard that? I don't know. I'll ask. Okay, what do you want?
I want to speak to your boss.
Not gonna happen.
Then no deal.
You hear that? You want me to... Yeah, 10 fingers, 10 toes, start at one end, got it.
Fingers?
Break 'em, I would guess. Start with the fingers, then the toes, then...
You'd do that to a woman?
Me? Nah. But we know a guy, don't we?
What if we made a deal?
What kind of deal?
I'll decipher your book.
Which you were gonna do anyway.
Yeah, but this way I'll do it right, and you let me live. With all my digits intact.
I don't know. Our friend really likes breaking stuff. What's that? Excuse me a moment. Yeah, I'll ask.
Is that all you want?
You talking to me?
Yeah, is that all you want? That don't seem unreasonable.
Well, to live is a pretty big deal to me, but I'm willing to negotiate for more.
Boss says he'll think about it.
Wait, I'm not done.
What?
Just past the guy on the phone was the hallway leading into my bedroom. I saw one of Antoinette's shoes underneath the bed. She must have packed quickly. My sister.
Who?
My sister. She's not to be harmed. At all.
Who's your sister?
Never mind, it doesn't matter. Just know she's not to be harmed. Also my boss. Nothing happens to either of them. Understood?
You get that? Yeah, I'll tell her. If you can't deliver the book, decipher, everybody dies. Get it?
Sure. You're coming in loud and clear. He turns his back on me and starts mumbling into the phone. I couldn't believe this might work. Now all I needed was to make sure I could read the hieroglyphics in the book. Finally, he turns back to face me.
Boss says he'll agree to your terms. Just one more thing.
What's that?
If we let you live, you're gonna have to die.
I wasn't sure what he meant, but I didn't like the sound of it.
Hey, Mommy. You okay?
Yep. What's up, buddy?
I figured out what we could do during summer vacation.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Ready?
Yup.
Camping! Camping!
No.
Why?
'Cause
Ugh. You've been listening to Lake Clarity again, haven't you?
maybe it's just secrets and evil and ghosts and camping. Camping is scary.
if you listened to Lake Clarity, you would never want to go camping again.
Fine. If we can't go camping, can I be in a Rex Rivetter commercial?
No.
Why not?
Because you couldn't handle it.
Oh, Mommy. How about this? If you want to be like my mom, you can listen to Lake Clarity on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. Join Seth, Allie, Mike, Aaron, and Brandon as they adventure through the Lake Clarity area and discover the past of the supposedly cursed campgrounds.
Huh.
Right? I'm awesome.
Hey, can you say, the name is Rivetter, Rex Rivetter?
Hey, I'm right here.
What?
It's laundry day.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to Jenny McIntosh, Girl Friday in the second part of The Homecoming.
I was marched downstairs to a car. 3 of the mobsters loaded in with me, while the 4th, the guy at the door, took my keys and drove off in my rust bucket. One of the guys that searched my place, Tweedledee or Tweedledum, I couldn't tell which, sat next to me with a pistol in my ribs while his partner drove. Telephone man sat in the front seat, but turned around to speak to me. Where are we going?
To a safe place.
Where is he taking my car?
To a not safe place.
What does that mean?
We're not the only ones looking for the book. But since you're going to read it to us, we want to make sure nothing happens to you. The other folks looking for it, though, we'll keep them looking as long as you're alive. So we're going to make you dead.
Dead?
Don't worry, lady. Our orders are to keep you breathing. We're just going to make it seem like you're dead, see?
Well, what are you going to do? Take out an ad in the Saturday Evening Post?
Not exactly. You're going to have a little accident, or at least your car is. A witness will swear you ran off the road and your car just blew up.
Blew up? Doesn't that seem a little extreme?
You have a better suggestion?
I don't know, something less dramatic.
No, for this purpose it has to be dramatic. Any other questions?
Who's Tiny?
What? Where'd you hear that name?
Well, from you, on the phone. You called somebody named Tiny.
You'd be better off not repeating that name.
I'd be better off if I hadn't gotten out of bed this morning.
It's unlikely you will ever get the opportunity to meet him, so there's no reason to tell you his name. But on the off chance you do meet him, you'd be better off not calling him Tiny. Got it?
Sure. That doesn't seem convoluted at all. We sat in silence for the rest of the ride, but eventually pulled into the driveway at some place in Anaheim.
Where is Disney?
I asked if we were going to Walt Disney's park, but no such luck.
I thought it was fake. This will be a good place to rest while you write down what's in the book.
Write it down.
Yeah? Is there a problem?
Well, it's gonna take a little time.
How much?
I don't know. I have to figure out the key, and that's gonna take a bit. It looks like a triple bilateral conduction.
A what?
A triple bilateral conduction. If it were a simple single or even a double biterial, that would be a cinch.
Are you just making up words?
Sounds that way, doesn't it?
Tiny's not gonna like this.
Oh, hold on there, cowboy. I said it sounds like it. To a layman, some of the words those codebreakers use sound made up, but they're not. I don't remember what they all mean, but I do remember how to work the code. It would make it easier if I knew what book they were using.
Book? Okay, lady.
I was getting a glassy-eyed stare. One thing I've learned from my time in Hollywood and its surrounding areas, the more you sound like you know what you're talking about, the more likely someone else is to believe it.
What?
Well, sure. This kind of code uses another book as a reference.
The bilateral whatchamajig.
Bilateral triple conjunction.
What?
If the code says something like 698-753, I just look up the 6th paragraph on page 98 and count to the letter 753, and there we have it. But I need to know what book they used, otherwise it won't do us any good.
So then you don't know how to read the code.
I didn't say that. I just need the reference.
Well, it sounds to me like anyone could read it if they got the,
Reference book, right. Well, that's where the bilateral conjunction comes in. Look, it's very complicated. And I'm not sure explaining it would be in my own best interest, what with you two boys and your guns and everything. But rest assured, I can read the code, I just need some time.
Where did Dame learn to do that?
My husband was in the OSS during the war. He was a whiz at that stuff. I used to help him type up his reports and learned a few tricks along the way.
What was his name?
My husband? Stanley.
And where's Stanley now?
Chatsworth. Oakwood Memorial. You want his plot number 2?
Let's go inside.
Nice digs. Who lives here?
You do. For now.
For now.
Until...
I cracked the code. You're like a broken record.
Kitchen's in there, bathroom down that hall.
Bedroom?
You thinking you'll be here that long?
Who knows? These things can't be rushed. One wrong letter and you may have to start all over. You want me to do it right?
Then you better start working. We're gonna want to see results, and fast.
Like I told you, mister. I'm gonna need the reference book. The key to the code.
Lady, I feel like I'm being played here, and I don't like being played. Are you hearing me?
Still loud and still clear. But threatening me won't do you any good. It won't get you what's inside that book any sooner. So if you're gonna shoot me and get it over with. Otherwise, put your pistol back in your holster.
Oh, it won't be just you, doll. We'll get your sister, too. She'll see my pistol, and so will your boss.
Well, that took a different turn. But the look in his eyes told me the next few minutes could change everything.
There's no way of knowing which one of the millions of books out there is the... what did you call it? Key? So tell me why I shouldn't just plug you right now.
Because then you'll never be able to read it.
Well, I think you're lying. I figured there ain't no such thing as a bilateral whatchamahoosit, that you just made that up to try to save your own skin. And even if there were one of them things, since we don't know what the key book is, there ain't no way for you to decipher it, even if you could, which you can't. So what's stopping me from finishing you off right here and now?
A Bible.
What?
Sure. A Bible. It would be a book that could be accessed anywhere, just in case the owner had to move. Quickly. Get me a Bible.
Louie, we got a Bible in this joint?
How should I know?
Look around, everybody.
Found one.
Give it here. All right, lady. You got 20 minutes.
20 minutes? To go through this whole book? Forget it. You might as well just shoot me.
20 minutes to show me you can actually read this thing.
Oh, well that I can do. I need a pen, some paper, and a whole lot of quiet so I can concentrate. And so I did. It really wasn't that tough. I'd started to unravel some of it before I left the office. Like Antoinette said, I'm pretty good at word jumbles. Don't get me wrong, it was a little more complicated than that, but for them, I should have won an Oscar for the scene I played. Going back and forth between the Black Book and the Holy One, scribbling, scratching out, writing and rewriting. I didn't actually need the Bible. It was just a way to give myself a little breathing room. Things started to make more sense as I looked at what I came to call the ledger. There were names, dates, and what looked like dollar amounts. I didn't understand all of it, but parts reminded me of a similar book I kept for Rex at the office. Incoming and outgoing payments with dates and a few references. But there were things written there that I couldn't make sense of. Yet.
Time's up, lady.
All right. Not that you pacing back and forth and the threat of imminent violence helped, but I've got you something.
What the? Scribbles? I can't read that.
Oh, sorry, it's shorthand. Thank you, Catherine Gibbs School of Business. It's a few names and dates, as well as some dollar amounts. There's some other stuff that I can't quite make out yet, but hopefully that's good enough for a start. So, do I get the job or what? And that's how I find myself here. Well, not here. Took a few months to get me here, wherever that is. I stalled for as long as I could, giving them a page or two a day, all the while working ahead and keeping copies for myself, just in case. But I knew that pace would only last for so long. And one day, I came upon a genius of an idea. I was sitting at the kitchen table one evening having coffee with Lenny. What? He never told me his name, and I got the impression I shouldn't ask, but I had to call him something, so I called him Lenny. Anyway, it was a cute little round Formica job, kind of a banana yellow. Not my particular taste, but it served its purpose. The table, not Lenny.
Now I got it. Okay.
He was listening to his radio program, the one about an avenging ghost or some such nonsense. I never paid much attention.
And be sure to join us next week for another exciting episode of
The Silver Spectre.
All right, that's it for me. I got places to be.
What's that like?
Hey, you did good today, honey. 3 pages. I expect you'll be done pretty soon.
You'd think so. Unfortunately, I've run into a snag.
A snag?
Well, sure. You know what a snag is. It's like when you've got a piece of cloth.
I know what a snag is. What's the problem?
Well, the problem is the Bible.
You got a problem with the Bible?
Well, if there was just one, no, that'd be fine. Unfortunately, there's different versions. Dozens, probably, and they don't all say the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Sure. There's the English Revised Version, the American Standard Version, the Revised Standard Version, and the Standard Revised English American Version.
I get it.
Well, actually, I just made that last one up. I wanted to see if you were listening.
So what? They all say the same thing. God is good, he smites the evil and sent his son down here to take...
But that's just it. The stories are all essentially the same, but the way they're told is different. The words used aren't the same from one version to the next. Lenny gets this blank stare sometimes.
It's upside down.
It'd almost be cute. You know, if it weren't for the threat of my imminent demise hiding in the shadows. You know God didn't actually write it, right?
Of course I do.
It was written by men. Fallible men. And lots of them have had their hands in writing it. Monks, Greeks, ancient Aramaics. Is that right? Aramaics? Hebrews? Somewhere, even Kilroy probably wrote in it. Anyhow, it's been translated from all of these different languages throughout the ages by just regular people like you and me. See?
Yeah?
Remember how you had trouble reading my shorthand?
Yeah.
Imagine that, only over 2,000 years. So there's different versions.
Different versions. All right, so how much difference could there be?
What are you, Catholic?
Sure.
Roman or Lutheran?
Roman.
Not Eastern Orthodox?
Huh?
What about the Baptists? Or the Protestants? I'm Episcopalian myself. We've all got Bibles.
Different versions. You made your point. How come you were able to do so well with this one?
Well, I had to skip over some of the stuff that didn't make sense. But now I'm getting to the parts that I need another Bible for.
Yeah, okay. We'll get you another Bible. Which one do you want?
I was pretty proud of myself. With that little maneuver, I bought myself a few more days on the calendar while they searched. And every time Lenny brought up how much work I was getting done, I made him go out and find another book. But that only worked for so long. Even with all of the different Christian sects, there are only so many Bibles. Last week, I had run out of ploys, and they knew I was almost done translating their ledger. Truth is, I'd finished 3 months ago. But I was milking it for as long as I could, trying to come up with a plan to escape. But there were never less than 2 mugs in the house, and they slept in shifts. They rotated through like characters in a kid's Viewmaster. Click. Look, there's Lenny at the Grand Canyon. Click. Hey, it's the smiley one standing next to a totem pole somewhere. Click. Look, it's the guy from the peephole at Mount Rushmore. I was going stir-crazy. But anything is better than the alternative.
You can't finish it up today.
Well, what's the rush? 1 more page and I'm done, right?
Yeah, 1 more, and then you're done.
What then?
You worry too much, honey. Now peep down, I want to listen to my program.
I've been held captive for... I don't even know how long. All I asked was for my safety, and the same for my boss and sister.
Hey, I brought you pictures of that gumshoe, ain't I? He's fine. And your sister's back in New Jersey. Hey, you got any faith?
We can't even agree on the contents of 1 book. 1 insignificant book, filled with nothing but words. We've fought wars over what we thought was between those covers. When it comes to something as important to someone's life, no, I don't have a lot of faith left. And that's when they came. There were 6 of them. They had guns. Lenny and Smiley didn't have time to draw. They shot Lenny. Right there at the Formica kitchenette. He slumped over and red seeped out of him onto the banana yellow table. And they left Smiley alive. With a message, I guess. I was in a daze by that point. And then they gathered me up and shoved me into the back of a car, never saying a word. It was dark outside. After 8 o'clock, I guess. Because Lenny was listening to his show. I still don't know if that was his name. We drove for a couple of hours, I suppose. There were signs, but none of them made any sense to me. Too much time staring at symbols and figures and trying to make it all make sense. Pieces of a puzzle with no edges. Eventually, we turned into a driveway and everybody piled out, myself included. But instead of standing me up somewhere and filling me with lead like I expected them to do, they took me inside another house and told me to stay put. They gave me a message. Outside somewhere, a church bell was ringing. All of the things that had to happen for me to be right here, right now. I don't want to think about it, but I know I should, or maybe I should run. There's no one here but you and me. And you won't tell anyone, will you? You're a good listener. And what with the church bells in the background, it's all very dramatic. Like I'm giving my final confession. I'm nobody's fool. Someone will come. Soon. They'll come and it will be an end. And you know what? I'm fine with that. Antoinette is safe. Or as safe as I can make her. And so is Rex. The photos that Lenny would show me were taken over a period of time, I could tell. He didn't look good. In fact, he looked like hell. But he was alive. And now that Lenny and his boys weren't involved anymore, maybe Rex and Tony would stay safe. Tony. Well, she would hate it if she knew I called her that. Well, it's late. I should sleep. When they come for me, I want to look my best. Well, at least they knocked this time. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. I was hoping to see one more sunrise. I expected them, just not so soon. As I walk to the door, I play a little game in my head. How many will there be? 5 this time? 6? If I live 100 years, I never would have guessed this.
Tonight's episode of Rex Rivetter Private Eye starred Rhiannon McAfee and Randy Coull and featured Jennifer McKenna as Antoinette, with guest star Steve Froehlich as Lenny and appearances by Jim Steinberg and Dave Rivas. It was written by Greg McAfee and produced in San Diego, California by Downstairs Entertainment in association with DaveyBoy Productions. Rex Rivetter is directed by Rhiannon McAfee with sound engineering and technical direction by Dave Rivas. Rex Rivetter Private Eye is a proud part of the Fatecrafter Studios network. Find other great shows at fatecrafters.net. The Jenny McIntosh theme, Softly as in a Morning Sunrise by the Artie Shaw Orchestra, is used with permission of Music Sales Corp. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please find us on the internet at www.dsentertain.com or on the Facebook or the Twitter. If you love our show, and why wouldn't you, you can donate towards production costs at www.patreon.com/RexRivetter and get access to exclusive content like gag reels and outtakes from recording sessions. Our recap show, Riveting Conversations, will be back at the end of this case. For Downstairs Entertainment, this is Greg McAfee speaking.